Good morning. Have you heard the words, it's cancer, and it's not you, it's your child or loved one? I'm Andrea Richmond, anchor woman here at Love Beyond the Diagnosis, author of the memoir, Love Beyond Scope, and the founder of the Courage Bear Project. Here we broadcast hope and dial into real stories of families navigating life after a cancer diagnosis. You'll find encouragement, storytelling, educational support, conversations with mom who know firsthand the diagnosis, and and dialogue from leading voices who are making an impact on the standard of care for patients with who have been diagnosed with pediatric cancers. You also find resources rooted in faith to help you breathe, rise, and thrive in the midst of the chaos. Because mama, you are not alone. So if you've missed an episode, be sure to check us out on YouTube and Instagram at Love Beyond the Diagnosis. And please like and follow me, Andrea Richmond, on my Facebook page for more updates as I continue to post information of my mission to serve mothers, caregivers, and their children navigating life beyond the cancer diagnosis. At Other Side Publishing, we are working to provide every child diagnosed with cancer a courage bear to honor, comfort, and serve not only the courageous children, but the mothers, fathers, and caregivers who need to know they are not alone on their path to experiencing love beyond the diagnosis. Please visit thecouragebearproject.com to learn more about this mission. So in the first 13 weeks of Love Beyond the Diagnosis, I am sharing 13 letters of hope, messages spoken straight to the heart to every mama and their family walking this difficult road. And today I have letter 6 for you, which comes straight from my heart of what I wished I knew on day 1 about respite and the power of rest and in the journey and the places that you can go when you have a child who has been diagnosed with cancer to find hope, healing, restoration, and that place where you can feel like you're not in that world of hospitals and everything that is medically related can be kind of put aside for the time, and you get to experience a place of joy in amidst the chaos, a place of rest amidst the chaos, a place of a family being able to be together in the same spot. And today I have the honor of speaking with the CEO of Believe in Tomorrow Children's Foundation. And we all know that in the midst of a child's diagnosis and treatment, one of the greatest battles is emotional and logistical stress on the family. So how is it that you can, stay mother, father, sibling, partner, friend, all at once? And how can you renew your hope, your strength, your connection when so much of life is on hold? That's where where the Believe in Tomorrow Children's Foundation steps in. And I'm thrilled to welcome Marianne Davis, CEO of Believe in Tomorrow Children's Foundation, to help us all understand how their housing and respite programs serve families, and how you as a mother or caregiver can consider stepping into those opportunities of restoration, renewal, and community. So Marianne, thank you for coming and being on the show this morning. I'm going to add you in here. There you are. Can you hear me? I can't hear her. There we go. I got you now. So, first of all, can you just tell my audience here in Erie, Pennsylvania, and on Facebook and YouTube a little bit about what you do at the Believe in Tomorrow Foundation?
Certainly. I have been with the Believe in Tomorrow Children's Foundation for 26 years. Very instrumental in helping the growth of the organization, including the respite housing program. I served when I first came to Believe in Tomorrow. I did special events and development work. And since then, kind of moved along. 26 years later, I'm the CEO. Our founder is still very involved. He is working remotely and trying to step back a little bit, but we continue to work together hand in hand to continue to be a national leader in children's hospital and respite housing services.
Awesome. You are doing incredible work there. We're getting a little bit of like reverb on this end with your voice. I'm hoping that, can you hear high pitched noise or no?
I cannot, no, everything sounds fine.
Okay.
I'm thinking she's got speakers on so she can hear you. She doesn't have a headset on, does she?
No.
So she's getting feedback.
Okay. So hopefully I'm getting it in my
I know
headphones.
we are, but she's not.
Okay, good. So we are, but you're not. So that's good. Okay,
But
just
they can hear it going out over the air.
they can hear her voice clearly.
No. So
Can we get it to
she would have to shut off her speakers,
what speakers?
whatever she's listening to you on.
Oh,
I'm listening to you through my laptop.
can you turn your speakers down? Oh, but she has to be able to hear me.
That's the catch-22.
Is that any better?
Yes, that's much better. Okay, perfect. I'm glad we could clear that up. We don't want to go on.
Absolutely. We don't want to waste any more time.
Right.
Live radio, folks.
Yes. Hey, we're real here in Erie, and we're willing to admit that we had to switch it up there a little bit this morning. So my first question for you, Marianne, is what is the core, from your perspective, what do you think the core unmet need for families of children with serious illness beyond medical care is, and how does Believe in Tomorrow seek to meet that need?
I think one of our core principles is family. So we believe in keeping families together during the medical crisis, and that the gentle cadence of normal family life really provides a powerful influence and helps in the healing process. So for us, yes, it's devastating to have a child that's diagnosed with a critical illness, cancer. But the rest of the family is also affected. So all of our programs are meant to kind of pull the family together. And we recognize that respite housing is truly a wonderful healer. It has to be very scary at first to even consider taking a trip during your child's treatment. But we try to provide everything that you could possibly need. The logistics of getting there, the accommodations are sparkling and beautiful. It really is meant to help families to find comfort, hope, joy, relax, return even for a week to just being a normal family, sitting down and having a meal together, enjoying watching a movie together. Mom's not at the hospital with little Jimmy while dad's home trying to hold down the fort. It becomes, as you well know, it's a constant struggle. So for us, making sure that we're meeting the needs of the entire family and providing for them is very important, as well as it being an ongoing resource. It's not a one and done. It's not a one trip to someplace and then we don't ever see or hear from you. We keep families in our programs for up to a year post-active treatment to allow for them to enjoy the respite program.
Yes. I mean, here I am 20 years out, still talking with the organization, which, it warmed my heart when I called. I had a contact name and, they connected me to you. And what more can you ask for 20 years later than to still have a relationship with an organization that supports family? And
I have to say, we've grown a lot since you were part of our programs, our respite housing program. I don't even know that you would know this, but Believe in Tomorrow developed the concept for the very first respite pediatric program in the entire United States. And that happened in 1986 with some simple condominiums that were leased, loaned until we were able to build our very first facility. Today, we have 7. And in 2026, we fully expect to grow and have 8. So generally, our respite houses are in places of beauty for relaxation, kind of like how anyone would want to vacation. Most people either go to the mountains or they go to the beach.
Yeah.
And there's not a whole lot in between doing that. So we actually have 3 mountain respite facilities and 4 beach facilities in the Mid-Atlantic area. So in the Ocean City or the Eastern Shore area, including Delaware, we have 4 properties. We just recently opened our 4th in August to prioritize our military families and families that have children that have shorter life expectancies, to give them a little bit more elbow room when they're there. Our programs are designed for the immediate family, meaning those who live under the same roof. So mom, dad, patient, siblings, sometimes that's grandparents as long as they live there. But in the case of this newest facility, the Children's House by the Sea 2, it also includes those who, caretakers perhaps, if that's what's needed for this family to get away and enjoy time together and create memories. Sometimes grandma, grandpa, but basically we say, pack your bags and you will be taken care of. You only need to bring your clothes. You don't need to worry about your accommodations. We work within the communities where we have housing to provide anything that you could imagine. So in the mountain properties, families can enjoy going skiing. They get to go out onto the lake in the summertime, boat rides, you name it, that's provided. Same at the beaches. Families do exactly what anyone else would want to do if they were taking a vacation or away time, go out to eat, miniature golf, or simply sitting on the beach and being a family and coming back and having a simple barbecue dinner together, enjoying all that we have to offer. So we're very lucky that these facilities, these respites, build a community of support in the areas where they are.
I love this. I love all this about your organization. So for a mother or caregiver who feels overwhelmed or guilty about taking a break or worried about leaving treatment behind, how do you guide them to view a respite as not escaping, but part of healing?
You know what? It's very gently, I'll say. We rely very heavily on the children's hospitals across the United States. So we work directly with all of the top hospitals from here to California, and work with the social workers and the child life specialists. So families come to us, generally their social worker will introduce Believe in Tomorrow programs when they deem it appropriate. And then that opens the door to filling out an application. The application is 3-part. Mom and dad fill out a part verifying who they are, who lives in their house. The doctor has a part that fills out the diagnosis, excuse me. And the social worker vouches that the family is deemed that this would be beneficial for them, that they could use a break in getting away. And we really rely upon them to say, yes, you can do this. You can leave treatment for a week, or we'll schedule it in between, or a long weekend. So the application is sent to Believe in Tomorrow. We're very centrally located in Maryland. All of our work is done out of the headquarters here. Applications are received and then immediately put into the queue. And prioritizing, we have different levels of prioritizing, whether it's military families. We definitely prioritize our military families. They have some very special needs. And then we move forward from there, children with short life expectancies. But the qualifier really is being treated for a life-threatening illness and being seen by the doctor or the hospital at least once a month. And then from there, we go through the process. Nothing takes a holiday. Cancer certainly does not take a holiday, but we are open 365 days a year. We host families for the holidays. Actually, we're booked for the holidays this year already, which was really interesting to us, that families would want to leave their own homes over the holidays and come to one of our facilities. But I think it's a testament to the facilities themselves, what they have to offer to the volunteers who make it all work. Without them, it takes an army of them to do the work that we all need to do and have done. So we're pretty excited about all of our facilities. So right now they are, as I said, in Delaware, they're in Maryland. There's another mountain property just outside of Asheville, North Carolina. And we have eyes right now on Florida, we believe, not the whole Disney World, but further away, to build our next respite facility.
Okay, and then the next question I have for you is kind of fun. Can you just share a story of a family who used your respite housing program, whether it be the beach or mountain that you're describing, or and how that time impacted them? I know we shared a story before this interview, and not in terms of treatment, but in terms of that family connection of healing and that hope, right? That emotional journey that we all walk in, and on the other side of that respite, right? What do you see in those families on the other side of that, of a respite, from your respite opportunity that comes from your foundation?
I can honestly tell you that one of the beauties is certainly in our beach respite facilities. We work really hard to introduce families to each other. And we do an icebreaker, it's not a game. We have a Monday night barbecue. So families arrive on Sundays in our programs, and they come, morning, noon, night. Monday, we have a barbecue that pulls all the families together, and it is magical. It's so interesting because these families don't know each other. And now we're housing 8 families every week. We do it on the deck of our children's house by the sea and in the backyard now of our newest facility. And at first, everybody's taking a table, and they're not really. And then all of a sudden, the kids start playing together. They don't realize that they're all bald-headed and they're running around, and what they have in common. By the time they come to us, they're a little bit more joyful than when they're coming from hospital housing. And all of a sudden, you'll see moms talking to moms and kids making friends. And they don't have to even be the same age. They're generally not from the same hospital. And dads are the slowest. They start out a little slower, and then all of a sudden you'll see dads kind of joining together. And it's really the things that you hear are moms talking strategy about how to give this medicine, or how do you get someone to do this, and the fears that they have. And they truly get the support from each other in a very relaxed setting. And then we have volunteers who will do anything. If it's just to sit and talk, they'll sit and talk. But it's really being normal, honestly, and not focusing so much on this health journey, but how to be a normal family. Let's get out and let's have fun. It's interesting to me how often we'll get thank you notes. And by and large, I can tell you, if I had 6 letters sitting in front of me today from families, more than half of them will have, thank you for allowing us to be a normal, and they put it in quotations, family, even if it's just for a week. It's so powerful and so incredible. But the interesting thing from our standpoint is we get as much out of it as we give, and our volunteers do too. They just absolutely love meeting the families and watching the magic unfold right in front of you. And I do think part of what we're trying to accomplish is that when you walk in the door of the facilities, you should breathe. Your shoulders should drop. You should know that you're safe, that you're going to be taken care of, and that whatever needs you have, we will do the best that we can to address them. But just go be a family. Just go have fun. Do the things that you haven't done in so long. We actually worried for a period of time, did families just relax enough? And what we heard was, because we provide so much, we work within the communities, and a lot of the families said, you don't understand. We've been in the hospital. We don't get a chance to go and do these things. We don't want to be in the room. We want to be out and about. We want to do all the things that we didn't do for the past year. So we try to encourage relaxing too. It doesn't have to be run, 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 but it's interesting how what's relaxing to families. And some families relax by run, run, run.
I truly believe myself that love is the answer to cancer, and where there's love, there's hope. And in your organization, that you are just spreading love all over the place and embracing these families, right? With all the people that are involved, all the volunteers, all these places that you provide. And so the last thing that I would like you to share with our audience today is how like, let's encourage these moms to say yes to your organization and yes to the respite. And how do they connect with you? Where do they go? If they're sitting in a hospital room right now, or they're sitting in their car in the parking garage this morning outside the hospital, or if they're at home here listening in Erie, Pennsylvania, where do they go to connect with you and get to the point where their family can be in one of these beach houses or one of these mountain spaces that it just overlooking beauty, right? And
Absolutely.
living and being immersed in it. And I'm so happy to hear that your mission is going so strong after 20 years, like beyond
40 some years.
40
So Believe in Tomorrow is 44 years old. Yeah. Honestly, anyone who is listening or in need of help or an explanation, absolutely go to our website, believeintomorrow.org. Click on the programs and the For Families section. At your hospital, talk to your social worker, your child life specialist. Most of those resources are very familiar with Believe in Tomorrow. Certainly CHOP, all the hospitals. I'd be shocked if you didn't already hear about it, but don't even hesitate to ask. So families can self-refer, meaning they can reach out directly to us, and we will provide them an application that they can fill out. They can take with them to clinic and get the doctor and the nurse and the social worker. Mostly it's social workers. If you have a good social worker, they're familiar with Believe in Tomorrow, and they should be providing that. And they will absolutely guide you. Certainly the website, and as always, a phone call to Believe in Tomorrow is always welcome. We will put you in touch with the right people, explain the programs. The sooner you get your application in, the sooner we can get you on a wait list and get you scheduled for your preferred trips. And families are encouraged, I will tell you, Andrea, to use our programs on an ongoing basis. So when I said before, it's not one and done. Throughout the course of your treatment, sometimes timing doesn't work. You might not be ready for it yet. Your social worker will definitely guide you in that, and we will too. But all we ask is that you take a 3-month break. So if you get a full week in the summer, which is prime time kind of season, 3 months later, if you're interested in coming back or going to a different facility,
Yes.
as long as we're able to accommodate the schedule, we just ask that you take a 3-month break and allow other families the opportunity to go. Prime time at the beach is usually late spring to early fall. Families are entitled to one prime season trip a year. So if you come this summer, you probably will not be able to get in next summer, at least during prime time. That doesn't mean that the rest of the shoulder season and even the holidays isn't available to you, but please don't hesitate to reach out. We've got lots of different ways, and the good old telephone, if people still use that, if not on the website, certainly call Believe in Tomorrow.
Go ahead and let us know your phone number. Throw it out there.
Absolutely. Our phone number is 410-744-1032.
All right. So all my audience out there, reach out to the Believe in Tomorrow Children's Foundation, and you will find an amazing opportunity of rest and joy in this season that you're walking through with your child diagnosed with cancer. My final segment of the show here deals with the anchors of hope that I give to my audience. And my 3 anchors of hope are this morning that rest restores more than the body. And I think as we heard from Marianne, Davis from the Believe in Tomorrow Children's Foundation. She and her organization and the communities that they have built and houses that they have for you are built to restore more than the body. They're restoring hope, and they're restoring joy, and they're restoring a family who's walking in the chaos. And I firmly believe on the other side of all this that there is no more precious gift than the gift of rest. And the Believe in Tomorrow Foundation was there in my journey, and I am honored to be to have spoken with Marianne Davis this morning about the organization. And I just encourage all the mothers out there and families, fathers, caregivers, whoever you are, if you're hearing this message, encourage families to go and find rest on that journey. Matthew 11:28 says, "Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, I will give you rest." What no more beautiful place than the Believe in Tomorrow Children's Foundation to find rest, because rest is not a retreat from care. It is part of your family's healing. And the second anchor of hope I give you this morning as we close out is togetherness is medicine. The laughter of siblings, the sound of waves, the peace of sitting together without alarms. These are not luxuries, they are lifelines. Families heal in spaces between the hospital walls where love and normalcy meet. We couldn't have seen it more beautifully said this morning that, we're in a new normal, and we want life to feel as normal and back to normal as possible while you're walking in the journey after your child is diagnosed with cancer. So how good and pleasant it is when God's people live together in unity, from Psalm 133, verse 1. So when your family reconnects, everyone becomes stronger, body, mind, and spirit. And my third anchor this morning is that hope multiplies when shared. So accepting help creates a ripple effect. Please, anyone listening to this, I encourage you to go to a place of respite. Breathe. Allow love to enter into your life. See that there are places to go, to be with one another, and to share. By saying yes to a respite stay, a family models courage, faith, and the belief that healing can include joy. May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in him. And so my last thought for this morning is, when you receive hope, you give permission for others to find it too. And so moms, dads, caregivers, when you accept a gift of respite from an organization like Believe in Tomorrow Children's Foundation, you are demonstrating to your children, and you are living a life of hope and courage and love. And there is no better gift to give your child as you're walking through this journey. And your child is going to experience your joy. They're going to see you more joyful, and they're going to see you more hopeful, and they're going to love more deeply as a result of seeing mom and dad and all the family, all the caregivers in that place of rest and joy. And I just encourage you, as my final word this morning, I encourage you to go ahead and say yes to the respite opportunity so we can breathe, rise, and live more fully beyond the diagnosis. I'm Andrea Richmond, and thank you for joining me this morning on Love Beyond the Diagnosis. I look forward to speaking to you next week. I have a mother's helper coming to join me on the show. So I'll see you next Tuesday, same time, 8:30 on 103.3, 105.9, and 15:30 on TalkErie.com. Have a blessed and beautiful day.
I couldn't stop that. I don't know why.